what your leadership has been told.
Well, it's funny because last spring I was asked about the Arizona law on NPR. And my response was, I think it's a good start. And then it stopped, right? Yeah. Oh, look at this, you know, these people, and I was apparently categorized as one of them, want to secede from the union and everything. No. No, what we were talking about is, I don't think anybody, whether they identify themselves as Democrat or Republican or other, I don't think anybody would argue that the federal government has completely abdicated its responsibility to handle the legal immigration issue. I mean, that's the problem. So the next governor of the state is going to have, and I've talked at different times, but I realize now that without a Social Security number, without that sort of thing, you know, governors are very limited in what they can do in terms of trying to address the immigration issue. But you absolutely have to work with other governors in this country to start to get the federal government to do its darn job and enforce our immigration laws, enforce the border. And I will tell you this very passionately, and I hope you can see I'm working on it. I really do, this is my heart, and I will never back off this. God forbid there ever comes a day when people do not want to come to the United States of America to try and enjoy the freedom and opportunity that this country is supposed to offer. The issue is not us not wanting people to come here. It's that our federal government refuses to do its job to make sure that we have legal, understandable immigration so people that come here can enjoy. And here's what we have to do. We have to make sure that English, forgive me, but English has to be our language. That is our language. By the way, my two opponents have said that they don't agree with that. I don't understand that. We want people to come to this country. We want to celebrate their culture. We want them to keep their heritage, but we want them to become Americans. We want them to assimilate into our communities and become productive members of our society. And folks, before we just point the finger automatically at people who come here to try and experience the freedom and opportunity that this country offers, maybe we should point a couple of the fingers back at ourselves. Because we have created some of the, and frankly, without we have created some of the most generous social safety nets that the world has to offer here in the state of Minnesota. And what do you think a hungry person that doesn't have a place to live is going to do? They're going to access what we've created. We need to start to dismantle some of those programs because they are sending the wrong message, and we've created the problem. So people come here, they access those programs, we get upset because we're asked to pay for them. That's the problem. So let's make sure the federal government does its job, and let's start to reform the entitlement system that we've created in the state of Minnesota.
Related, Tom.
Yes?
Is the governor going to be able to do anything about the 3 sanctuary cities?
Yeah, well,
And with St. Paul and Worthington.
here's the thing. The sanctuary city laws, they don't change anything. They don't change a gall-darn thing. I mean, we need to eliminate sanctuary cities, and the governor can do that in many different ways. LGA, you can start talking about the LGA funding, things that the governor can do. But more importantly, we've got to start working with our law enforcement as to how we are going to make sure that we handle the immigration issue in a fair and even-handed manner. But it goes above us. You got to get the president and Congress to start to make sure the federal government enforces the borders.